Marijuana dispensary in Miami, Oklahoma. And a pair of star twins talks about the latest game changer for college sports. Also, fireworks safety tips to keep your family safe this 4th of July.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Police raid a marijuana dispensary in Miami, Oklahoma and seize more than $100,000 worth of product. This is KOAM News at Noon. I'm Tanya Bach. Tapping our first 7 minutes, Miami police, assisted by the Bureau of Indian Affairs and the District 13 Task Force, raid the underground dispensary in Miami Wednesday night. The police department shared this photo on Facebook saying officers, quote, seized contents of an unlicensed dispensary on Main Street. Now, according to the Oklahoma Medical Marijuana Authority, the operation had previously been licensed, but the new owners had not properly applied for a license. The authority says the underground operated as a dispensary, processor, and grower, which means they would need a license for all 3 of those things. We'll hear from the Miami Police Chief about the raid tonight at 5. Well, the Barton County Sheriff says the county jail is not safe and they have to shut things down. The jail will close temporarily starting tomorrow. The Sheriff's Office cites faulty doors, broken glass, poor lighting, and broken security cameras as the reason behind the shutdown. Sheriff says while the jail is shut down, they'll focus on repairs and address staffing issues. Most of the jail's detainees will be housed at the Cedar County Jail in Stockton, Missouri. Well, if you're like me, you're tired of the swamp life. Ready for some sunshine. Michael Aislip joins us with a first look at your holiday weekend forecast.
I'll tell you what, in particular, Tanya, that being underwater, that is specific to northeast Oklahoma and southern southwest Missouri for this morning and not done quite yet. Let's go to the Skywatch Storm Tracker where tremendously heavy rain continues to pour down along and south of I-44. There has been absolutely no reprieve today for Newton, Lawrence, McDonald, Berry counties. Delaware County has bared the brunt of it, so has Craig in northeast Oklahoma. Ottawa County had a torrential downpour. And so as we shift out to the west, know that we're not done, because even though those have been the equivalent of early July showers, we got a lot more to go. I put the storm tracks in there just to give you an idea of where everything's headed. Instead of the northeasterly motion that we had 48 hours ago, and then yesterday we had west to east, now we're starting to drop off to the southeast. I'm going to find the silver lining in all this, because look at what's up to our north. There we go. We can get everything out of here in a timely fashion. We can actually begin to clear off. Temperatures, it's a little bit humid outside, but it's not too bad. We have the low to mid 80s for the most part. And with the humidity, you're going to have to throw in another 4 to 5 degrees on top of that. And here coming up just a little bit, just speaking of oppressive heat, we'll address that in other parts of the nation. But of course, for us, it is all about flooding concerns, because a morning of additional flash flood warnings and watches leads us to an afternoon and evening of rain moving in from the west. But look at what happens as we approach Friday morning. The break is finally in sight. We begin to clear off and actually have a good-looking Independence Day weekend. Coming up in just a little bit, Tanya, we'll talk about what this rain that we've had has done for us for the month of June, albeit in a 5-day span, and where we look forward to headed in July.
All right, sounds like a plan. Thanks, Michael. Well, President Biden is in Florida today, visiting the site of the deadly building collapse in Surfside. Search and rescue operations are paused as the death toll climbs to 18 so far, with 145 still unaccounted for. Now, President Biden and the First Lady arrived in Florida this morning. They met with rescue crews to thank them for their frantic efforts to find survivors in the remains of the 12-story condo building that crashed to the ground last week. The search for victims was paused overnight because of concerns about the stability of the portion of the building that's still standing. A historic decision by the NCAA's Board of Directors means college athletes will have a new way to make money. Now, they can't get paid to play, but they can sign deals to earn an income from their personal brands, as in their name, image, and likeness. As Mulalingi shows us, the move comes after 24 states passed laws allowing the athletes to be paid.
Dang, this is crazy.
Just after midnight, college basketball stars Hannah and Haley Cavender found out they scored their first endorsement deal.
All right, your contract was successfully signed. Cavender Twins times Boost Mobile.
The Twins, who play for Fresno State, received a deal with the cell phone company Boost Mobile.
Just this opportunity is insane, and it's just so exciting for both Hannah and I.
Now it's Hannah Cavender to her sister Haley. Player of the year in the Mountain West, stepping back, 5-point game.
The Twins are not just stars on the court, but on TikTok, where they post videos for their more than 3 million followers.
This is something that we've been super passionate about for a couple years now, just making content and like starting our own brand. So I think it's just super exciting to see that you can obviously monetize it now.
The Cavenders are now among other top college athletes who are hoping to turn their popularity into profit. Under the NCAA's new policy, student athletes can earn money for things like social media posts, appearances, autograph signings, and endorsements.
The policy is temporary until Congress approves a federal bill, which is now in development.
What does this mean for female student athletes?
It's going to be huge for female athletes.
Nicole Auerbach is a college sports reporter at The Athletic. She says with limited opportunities for female college athletes to play professionally, the new rules will open doors.
This is, for a lot of them, the window where they can make the most money and that they're the most marketable. So I think you're going to see them be able to cash in on that while, they are associated with their college programs and they are getting those eyeballs.
The NCAA was under increasing pressure to allow athletes to earn money, especially after the U.S. Supreme Court recently unanimously ruled the organization could not cap education-related benefits.
It's like Christmas almost,
Washington State University football player Dallas Hobbs has been pushing the NCAA to make this move. The graphic designer and artist says he's ready to show off his work in a way he wasn't allowed to before.
We've never really seen what college athletes are doing off the field, and this is something that can show that. So it will be able to show to the younger generation, hey, I no longer have to be truly an athlete. You can show that you're a businessman. You can show you're an artist.
Are you concerned at all that the sport does get lost in this?
I don't see too much concern over that. I think if anything, it's going to be more pure because you're going to see all aspects of an athlete.
Hold up.
For the Cavender twins, who for years have been sharpening their skills on the court and building their brand online, the opportunity to turn a profit is a whole new ballgame.
Basketball in school comes first, but it's also really cool to think that we can work with companies on the side and be able to set ourselves up for success.
Mola Lengi, CBS News, New York.
That's a look at today's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Up next on KOAM News at noon, keeping you and your family safe this 4th of July. We outline the do's and don'ts of shooting off fireworks. And later, we're making shrimp mac and cheese in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. 4th of July is Sunday, and lots of 4th-staters have already started celebrating our country's independence. Local authorities want to make sure you do it safely. KOAM's Bronte Sorotsky tells us what Pittsburgh residents should know when it comes to setting off fireworks.
Many 4th-staters may be excited for 4th of July celebrations to make a comeback. But while using items like fireworks, residents should be informed on what they can and can't do while keeping themselves and others safe. In Pittsburgh, those wanting to light fireworks can do so on nights fireworks are being sold, which started on June 27th until July 5th at midnight.
They can shoot them off from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. on the nights that the fireworks stands are open for sale and things like that. The time is extended for the 4th, but only for the 4th.
According to Pittsburgh police, after July 5th at midnight, firework use is prohibited until the next 4th. And fireworks sellers want you to know that there are options when it comes to keeping you and everyone else safe.
We sell a safety fuse, like if you're lighting off big fireworks, you can string those together and get a distance before you light it. And that'll allow a distance from fireworks so you don't have to hurry up and scramble to get back out of the way. Police also recommend keeping water nearby.
Make sure that they're doused in water, make sure they're put out. It's not uncommon to, like I said, have a water source or a bucket of water, something available. So if you have fountains or something that emit a lot of sparks and whatnot.
They say after replying to numerous firework complaints each season, the importance of the public knowing what is and isn't allowed is even greater. In Pittsburgh, Bronte Sorotsky, KOAM News.
Also, for Joplin residents looking to celebrate the 4th, fireworks can be sold within the city starting today and running through Sunday. They can be set off only on those days from noon until 11 p.m. Still to come on the KOAM News at Noon, Mr. Food.
Today, we've got a seaside version of mac and cheese that's creamy, dreamy, and delicious. And it comes together in no time.
But first, Michael Hayslip returns with your complete forecast.
Majority of our Thursday morning rain has stayed down to the south, yet no matter where you are, it's kind of overcast skies. And when you look at the cloud cover, almost seems like we're waiting for it to burst up above. That's a live look outside of Television City as we transition to the Skywatch Storm Tracker. Still a good amount of rain, starts just on the east side of the Rockies, rolls through us, and then takes a little northeasterly turn and runs all the way to the mid-Atlantic. Let's zoom in on the 4 states and see what we've got cooking here at home. While it's been sporadic, it's still been heavy, especially in the southern portion of the 4 states. When we go to the lightning tracker, we do get a reprieve from that. We see a little bit out in the Ozarks in between Springfield and Branson. Pretty heavy down in I-44 in the Tulsa area. And our latest storm report also coming out of Tulsa and Broken Arrow, where they've experienced flooding. Of course, we've got our own flooding concerns to deal with, especially when we talk about McDonald, Newton, Berry, and Stone counties in southwest Missouri, and then for Delaware and Craig counties, even portions of southern Ottawa County in northeast Oklahoma. Kind of reset our view here and talk about what's out to the west, where we are having light July showers. That has not been anything like what we've gotten down to the south, but everybody out to the west, you know what? You deserve a break, because for the past 2 mornings, you're the ones that have been inundated with it. When we talk about our flash flood watches, Tanya, we were able to lift those that we had earlier down below I-44 for both southwest Missouri and northeast Oklahoma. So that is a very good thing. I thought they may be extended up to the noon hour because we were looking at 2 to 3 inches of rain down there early this morning. But of course, we still do have our flood warnings when it comes to the Neosho, the Osage, the Little Osage, and the Marmonton River valleys. Now, speaking of rain accumulation, if we look at this for just the past 24 hours alone, see that around Monette, about 2.5 to 3 inches. Look at Veneta in between Grove, almost 4 inches of rain, and Cherokee County near the Columbus area, also with about 3.5 to 4 inches in a 24-hour span. Folks, that doesn't even mean what we're talking about as far as dating back to Friday. If I were to put that map on, there's just too many colors for really to comprehend. We're talking about anywhere close to 17, 18 inches south of I-44. Watches and warnings right now, they do expand from us all the way to the mid-Atlantic. Now, we're not looking at anything severe. If we talk about the severe thunderstorm risk map, we really concentrate that in between D.C. and Raleigh, North Carolina right there, just on the mid-Atlantic. And we just keep them in the low category. We don't have anything elevated or high in the continental 48. But as I was telling somebody earlier, because they've got some people coming in from out of town this weekend, it doesn't have anything to do with the wind or hail. It's a matter of keeping our heads above water, because even though we see a little blue sky over 7th and Rangeline, once again, those clouds look like they want to pop at any time, because we're not quite done with our rain as of yet. Temperatures right now ranging in between the high 70s to low 80s. Tack on another 4 to 5 degrees as far as what it feels like. And also, just a quick note, because I really do want to concentrate on our flooding concerns, Tropical Storm Elsa has developed out to the Atlantic. Doesn't think she's going to do much here in the next couple of days, but in case you wake up one day and you're tracking tropical storms, you go, where'd that E letter go? Well, there she is right now. Weather trend for today, additional clouds build and scattered showers throughout our afternoon. But once we get close to sunset, watch everything fall off to the south. We are getting closer and closer to not only getting dry, but also seeing a fair amount of sunshine. Headed into an Independence Day weekend where if you have outdoor plans, do not cancel them. It is going to be absolutely perfect, and we deserve it after what we've had for the past 6 days.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We're tired of that swamp life, as I like to call it.
Enough of that.
Ready to move on.
I am not all about that action, boss.
No. All right, thanks, Michael. We take this time to honor today's 4-state hero, Purple Heart recipient Herbie Jeffries in the U.S. Army. The soldier from Neosho, Missouri, joined the 27th Division 165th Infantry Regiment in 1943. During World War II, he earned the Bronze Battle Star, the Central Pacific Campaign Medal, and the Good Conduct Medal. To Private Herbie Jeffries, we thank you, our 4-state hero. Today we're creating a seaside version of one of our favorite comfort dishes. Howard shows us how to make his shrimp mac and cheese in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
When it comes to cooking during the summer, many of us are thinking of tossing something on the grill or making an easy throw together salad. But after a while, we start craving something a bit more comforting. That's why we came up with a seaside version of mac and cheese that's creamy, dreamy, and comes together in no time. We start by cooking some pasta shells and draining them really well. While it sits, we make a cheese sauce to toss it with. It starts with melted butter that we mix with flour and a few seasonings. Once it's golden, we slowly whisk in some milk and let it simmer until it thickens up. Now for the best part, we stir in lots of shredded cheddar cheese. After it melts, we gently stir in the cooked pasta, some shredded mozzarella cheese, and a good amount of shrimp. Now we'll spoon this into a casserole dish, top it with some buttery cracker crumbs, and pop it in the oven. You'll know it's ready when it's bubbling hot and the topping is golden. Then get ready for lots of comfort. It's cheesy, it's creamy, and it's weeknight easy. To get the recipe for what we call our shrimp mac and cheese, all you have to do is visit our website. Here you go. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a comforting way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
And boy, that looks good. You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Here's a look at our 4-state market prices.
Scattered showers pushing us towards sunset on Thursday, but folks, we finally got some good news. By the time we get into Friday morning, we'll have sunshine and temperatures in the mid-80s, a very comfortable Independence Day weekend. Hey, before I throw it back over to you guys, I know this is going to be something that's going to come up here in the 4 states because of Pittsburgh State, Missouri Southern, and things of that nature. When we talk about name, image, and likeness, we thought it was going to be D1 male athletes capitalizing upon it. Just want to point out, the first 2 deals that were signed, Hannah and Haley Cavender.
Really?
2 female basketball players. Olivia Dunn will be next, a female gymnast from LSU.
Would not have occurred to me. Should have, but did not.
Yeah.
All right, what do we have coming up tonight at 5?
Well, at 5, the pandemic put Independence Day celebrations and travel on hold in 2020. This year, millions plan to head out for the holiday, but travelers could run into some roadblocks. We'll explain. Plus, headed to the lake this weekend, we have some tips to keep your family safe on the water. And Miami police seized more than $100,000 worth of THC products at an unlicensed dispensary. We're going to have details and what the owners of the facility say today at 5.
All right. Join us for those stories at 5, and the rest of the team will see you there. Thanks for joining us.